I want to turn to Eric Ham. He's a political analyst joining me also live from Washington, D.C. Eric, quite a defining week here in U.S. politics. Is this the day that Donald Trump grabs his party's nomination?
Well, let me answer that with some numbers. We know that today, 16 states plus U.S. territory, American Samoa, are going to be voting. 865 delegates are up for grabs today. Donald Trump currently holds 276 delegates. The magic number that a nominee will need to clinch the nomination is 1,265. So Donald Trump is expected to win the overwhelming lion's share of delegates today. And I suspect after the votes are all counted tonight, Donald Trump will have anywhere from 1,000, anywhere from probably 900 to 1,000 delegates after tonight's election, which means he will literally be on a glide path to win the nomination. Now, based on what we are hearing in terms of the polling data, neither Joe Biden or Donald Trump are expected to actually clinch the nomination tonight. But I do believe that both of these individuals are going to be very, very close to becoming the nomination. So much, in fact, that no matter what any additional candidates do, whether it's Nikki Haley on the right or Dean Phillips on the left, there is nothing that they will be able to do to stop these two men from their respective showdown face-off that we're going to see between them heading into November.
But I mean, we've also seen both Trump and Biden losing some of the votes during these primaries. I mean, what does that tell you about the possible rematch between the two in November?
Well, when we look at you're correct in stating that they have not won all of the votes, but I think their wins are actually we can see something very different from both of their respective wins. Joe Biden, even I'm pretty sure you're looking to Michigan, where last week we saw a large number of uncommitted voters not support Joe Biden's candidacy in Michigan. While that was 13% of the vote in that particular state, where we traditionally see between 10 or 11%, and Joe Biden was still able to actually secure more than 80% of the vote. And so what we're seeing from Joe Biden is he is winning upwards of more than 80 to 90% of the vote in these early primary states. Unfortunately, what we're seeing on the right is Donald Trump is not as strong a candidate. He's winning anywhere from 50 to, as we saw in last week in Michigan, he's winning up to 70% of the vote. Not as strong as the incumbent Joe Biden, but still very, very strong. And there is a growing concern that will Donald Trump be able to coalesce that 30 to 40% that he hasn't been able to secure. But we're going to be watching these primaries tonight to see if Donald Trump can actually break that ceiling and actually be even more dominant. And I think the more dominant he becomes, the more easier it looks that he will be able to coalesce Republican voters around him heading into November.
Right. But I got to ask you, though, I mean, Nikki Haley, could she still run as an independent, possibly with like a Democrat running mate?
Well, certainly she can. We know that the No Labels movement has been feverishly attempting to try to recruit someone, but Nikki Haley has made clear that she is not going to run as an independent candidate. And also, based on what we are seeing in terms of the fundraising needed to compete, it's highly unlikely that even as a third-party candidate, she'll be able to raise enough money to be competitive against both a Joe Biden and Donald Trump in the general election matchup.
Eric Ham, a political analyst, thank you so much for that analysis live from Washington, D.C.
Thank you.